Hey, good morning, family. Pastor Ray here with your Manna and Coffee this morning. You know what? In Romans chapter 1, verses 28 through 30, we read something interesting. I was just thinking over some things in the past, and I remember that I had a very dear friend of mine at church, and we used to sit, and we used to talk a lot. I mean, we used to sit there and go have coffee and go have lunch, and we would talk about a lot of things. But here's the thing, we were both involved in ministry at this church. He was the worship leader, and I was doing all the bookkeeping for the church and expenditures, the expense account. And we would sit and talk a lot. And sometimes, if he was going through a hard time or I was going through a hard time, we had no problem sharing with each other in order to pray for each other on the things that were troubling us. But here's the thing. One day, I got called into the senior pastor's office. And he brought up some things that I had shared with this young man that was a friend of mine, our worship leader. And I don't know about you, but when people talk about you, it hurts. Those kind of things really do hurt you. I often say the biggest sin within the church is gossip itself. It happens from the pastors on down through the people sitting in the pews. Gossip is a killer of the church. It'll destroy lives. It'll destroy your family of the church body. And we shouldn't let it be found amongst us. It says here in verse 28 of chapter 1 of Romans, it says, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malingering, and whispers." Whispers, if you translate it out, it comes up gossip. They gossip. Backbiters goes right along with gossip. They're backbiting. Haters of God, spiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, and disobedient to the confidence that people place in them, especially those of us that were in leadership, and for myself, still in leadership. When people ask me to pray about things, I pray about them. I don't sit there and start posting it all over Facebook. If they want me to, I will pass it on to people. Hey, this person needs prayer. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. Just pray for them. I don't think you guys need to know details, and I don't need to share those details that people share with me. You just need to pray for them, because that's what God calls us to do. Whisperers and backbiters, gossipers within the church. And I found out that our leadership staff at this church, of which the senior pastor was a family member, they would always use these little lead-ins. Hey, how's it going? Oh, good. Hey, have you heard from so-and-so? Well, yes, I have. Well, how are they doing? Key 1, how are they doing? You should leave it as fine. But then they would prod and try to dig deeper. And not only did the senior pastor do it, but the associate pastors and the then assistant pastor, who really wasn't an assistant pastor. I count all of his pastoral staff, not even pastors. I think they were more deacons than they were pastors. But they would dig in and try to find out what you knew about this person, what this person was talking about. That's gossip. It's bad. It tells you right here. Inventors of evil things. Man, when you get into gossip, you get into some evil stuff, man. Let me tell you, because you're not only destroying your walk with Christ, but you're destroying the person's character who confidently came to you and said, hey, I have a problem. Today, family, if there's people coming to you and they have problems or issues, and they share those with you for prayer, pray about them. If they want you to pass along that prayer request, pass it along, but no detail. It doesn't matter. If you post something and say, you know what, pray for my friend Chris or Sally or whatever, I'm going to pray for them. You know what? God knows what's going on in their lives. I don't need to know details. You know, it's kind of like that old show Dragnet. Just the facts, man. Just tell me the facts. They need prayer. That's all I need to know. That's all you need to know today. Let's stop gossiping about people that have hurt us or wronged us or gone against us. You know, I forgave that person, and I still forgive him. I don't know why he did what he did, but I understand that the senior pastor of that church is very prying, very nosy. Not only had that, but his whole family was. It was sad, man. I pray for them that they would lose that sin of gossip in their lives. It's a horrible thing, man. I'm telling you, we need to be men and women of God who take what people tell us and just pray. It's okay, just pray. You know, include that church. You know, you don't need to know the name of the church. Just pray for them. You know, they got a great little congregation. They're small. They've always been small. They'll always be small. You know, but they're at least preaching somewhat of the gospel. They don't know how to rightly divide the word yet, but they're preaching the gospel. They're getting people saved. So praise God. They're doing a work. And it's still good. They got a new pastor in there now. I know him. You know, he was part of this whole gossip mess too. And I just pray for that family and that fellowship and those people over there because I was part of them. And I know that there's some amazing people there. And they just need our prayers. So won't you pray for the churches today in the areas of gossip? It's a killer. It'll destroy churches from within. And that's exactly what Satan wants to do. Satan is a cancer to a church. And he uses pride. Like I said in there's pride, being boastful, being proud. You know, all those things. Those are satanic devices that Satan uses to rip apart you and me in order to destroy the church of God. May you have a blessed day. May you enjoy your week. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. It's raining here in Southern California. I love it because it makes my arthritis feel great. No swelling. I like the cold. I should move up to the mountains. But anyway, Linda and I love you. We're praying for you guys because you guys are so amazing to us. And we know that a lot of you that we don't know personally, you've only texted us or you shared on our Facebook pages. But you know what? We love you just the same as if we shook hands with you and spent time with you. May you have a blessed day. May God's face shine upon you. May he bring you peace and comfort. May he look upon you and bless you with all blessings today. In Jesus' name. The rest of the staff here at Rock, we're praying for you as well. May you have an amazing day. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye, guys.